Hello, everyone. We're live. Nice to see you again after a break here in Concordia Continentalis. We've had a really great solar flow of energies coming in. But what it has brought, and I've noticed this in many quarters with clients, with general tiredness. Your soul is tired of this existence, tired of what is being thrust heavily in your direction in terms of government, religion, state, and rules and regulations for you to fit into a tiny little box. Now, the purpose of today and connecting in with you all is to hopefully provide a level of education about who and what you are at a subatomic level, at quantum level, at a vector level, beyond all of the human labels. I shall do my best to condense this information directly so you feel it, know it, and have a process in place as to what to do with it. Now, your soul is light. Your soul is creatress energies of this universe. You are the universe. You are. Everything that happens in your reality is transferred through your system. And one of the biggest complaints that I hear is, I feel like the system is behind me, is on my shoulders. It is a burden. It is this silent hand trying to grip you and move you in an unsovereign, unhappy, painful way. Now, I'm just going to share. I'm not going to speak really quickly because we just need to have a breath here and there to really let the message settle. So I'm just going to look for the image. Okay. So this is an image that most people will be aware. And this is the matrix. So you are made of light. Yeah. Screen, where is it? Anyway, so we're back to this. The image here that affects everybody living and breathing on Earth today. This affects our families. This affects our soul groups. And what this image represents, and it's pretty stark, it's pretty obvious, it's self-explanatory in its own terms. And what you're seeing is coding and patterns designed to disrupt your soul experience. Now, where are these codings, patterns, waveforms coming from? You might wonder. Well, it's in your reality. This is what you're absorbing on a day-to-day level in the Maya, the illusion of what reality really is. Now, if you look at that coding, it is straight, in a straight line, straightforward. Some of it will be hidden from you, from your sight. Some of you will not be accepting of your own soul over foreign entities coming into your universe. Your universe is this toroidal structure that is continually interacting with other universes, other realities, other codes of light, because you are light. Your soul is light. You are a being of light. But the system does not want you to know. The system does not want you to feel. So they have superimposed religions over your experience for eons. Eons. Previous worlds, previous existences, previous realities, previous realms of existence. They seem to be quite fond of that. So when we look at this as an ultra omnidimensional scene, the picture can feel overwhelming and complicated. In our descent from the light that we are, we lost contact through the traumas we experienced of ourselves, of our true nature, in the physical body, through the energy center system, which even then we're being told is only limited to just above us, when actually we are much vaster, because our patterning of the soul takes us direct to creator. There's no in-between phases that should keep you from a direct connection from yourself. The only thing, reason, issue that can affect the way that you interact with your soul and spirit physically is trauma. And this could be from your experiences in this lifetime. It has been pretty harsh for some. Terrible situations have occurred. And in the meantime, while all that's going on, the system is trying to recode your soul. So you interact with their program and pattern above all other things, including yourself. So let me translate this in terms of experience, real life living experience that you have on a daily basis with your families, with your working, with your experiences of the path you are on. So this coding translates as you will live life in a way that we tell you, demonstrate and project you to live. Now, this external interaction becomes an internal one because we internalize and we move that energy through our physical processes, our minds, our experiences, our hearts, our choices, our free will. So with any computer system that is supra intelligent in its own form and nature, which is you, we begin to be recoded into system footsteps, leanings, desires, when they might not be the right thing for your experience. But we become to depend on this system program. Now, when this affects us entirely and we become overrun by external coding of a negative kind that literally begins to release your energy and power and free will to that very same system. And the illusion is very great. It's not just from a daily life. It's through every single media interaction that gives you another illusion. For example, I'm just going to use a very small title, MAGA. Why is that being bandied around in pre-election discussion in the US? Well, MAGA, whatever you want to call it, is the magician. And it's very interesting how these terms infuse and impress upon your biochemical, biological feelings, allegiances, contracts, agreements, promises, and the destruction of everything that you held dear. And there's always got to be a blame point for it. Now, it has been where this two arms of the same puppet have been operating through percentages of the population. We see these rigid people in public office, at the head of religions, in system administration tasks. In matrix terms, they are the agents. And these agents are designed to keep an eye on you and see and hone in and use their hidden technologies to infuse your life with blockages, restrictions, and it's almost like you create them yourself. Interesting, isn't it? This massive gaslighting sleight of hand in magical esoteric terms has affected a lot of people, a lot of humanity. But let us not lose hope, because this coding is affecting your physical body, your thought processes. It's squashing your natural human spirit. Squashing the experience of your soul. Now, what can you do? What would infinite intelligence do in this situation? How would that interact? Would you allow that level of connection into you because of system coding through ancestral lineages, through the projection of data, through the use of your data, through negative connections, and all the things I just mentioned, contracts, spiritual contracts, agreements, and so on. But the picture is vast. We're here to resolve. So Concordia Puntularis is always here to help with that situation. We offer a fresh perspective on your soul experience at an infinite level. And that is designed to help your health. Because if you are programmed by system disease, illness at a soul level, it's going to overspill into your physical body and eventually end up as a chronic condition. So when the soul cannot take it anymore, it begins to leave the body and develop an exit point where it can leave or physically die. Not the soul, the body. When the soul has enough and it's tired, fatigued, weary of the same old patterns, living and experience, begins to leave the body. And we see this manifested in cause of dementias, Alzheimer's, system calls it. Actually, it's just the spirit and the soul leaving. And it's a very sacred process. So all souls are sacred. When in some possibilities, the soul will manifest cancer because the body is no longer able to sustain any more of the same. This is the nature of all system diseases in the medical arena today. They were all created by trauma and human, but everything that has been done can be. Why? Because we are supra-intelligence. We live in fear, some of us, not I, some live in fear of AI systems, taking over, it's all going to turn into Terminator, etc. Well, that reality is very possible, I'm sure. But ultimately, one of those things cannot be true. Despite what others say, they might welcome it, but actually they're just a bit of highly advanced kit that can assist your process and use it as a reference point. You know, in human terms, look what the system has done to humanity. It's enslaved humanity. What do you think it will do to the other programs it creates? It will do one of two things with the transhuman agenda. Humans will adapt into being robots, and robots will adapt into being the soul shards of humans. And no one is really ever free, not even the system interlopers. Now, I'm sure they must be extremely tired and fatigued to be repeating same old scenario. Annihilate, dominate, control. And every single human with a conscious mind is also sick of it. Some will accept it, others won't. Some will feel the extreme pain of this reality in physical form, in heart. But we cannot allow this to be. You are stronger, faster than any program like this ex-humans from malintended system operations. Our potential on Earth is vast, and they always knew this. We are different to the animal kingdom, but we are all sentient. The soul can heal any condition at all. This, the hidden story of the occults, secret societies, because they don't want you to have the true knowledge. They don't want it. You're a threat. And I believe in you. If you're watching this, I believe in your soul. One time I'm going to tell your tiny little story about my own experience. One time I was being aggravated by some people that had problems internally themselves. They did not feel worthy. So they expressed jealousy and envy in my direction. The final breaking word from me was, you, and I looked them in the eye, very serious about it. I'm 16 years of age. You will never break my soul. And I felt that in every single part of me. Because no system, nobody's anger, nobody's negative emotion will ever break my soul, because I am infinite and you are. If you're watching this and tuned in to my frequency, you will know truth. We have incarnated and reincarnated. Many of us carry the wisdom of the planet to carry on and expand in a very deep and profound way. And these are the energies that are with us right now. It's going to share with us. attention. So all day long, we're reading energies. The soul is translating the data and utilizing the physical elements that are present on this planet: earth, air, fire, water, spirit, continually sending signals out, receiving signals in, sending them out, receiving them in. I'm not sure if you can see my pointer here, but this was an image that I found that represents a lot. So this energy is connected to every single source incarnated being on Earth today. And we're all receiving collective data from each other. We are all translating a picture, a feeling of what is happening in every moment. So the soul, naturally, away from any system programming, has no time to expand. This life is very short that we experience. And that's been coming in many different forms lately. So in our truest expansion through the heart, the divine navigation of our sacred souls, we begin to lead a different experience. We begin to tap into the true power of the Creator, of ourselves in total sovereignty, through our own expansion of our own universe within, here at the core, the central part of you, which carries a geometric light frequency that is able to be commanded by your soul above and beyond any limitation, restriction, or boundary. If there's any boundary, move it. If there's any limitation, move it. And I'm talking in particular, it would be really helpful to do this from all of your energy centers, above and below, connecting with all of the elements with the intention of them coming into complete sacred harmony and peace. It is the way of the earth. It is the technology of the earth. And when you start connecting above and beyond what you think you are, you become stronger and stronger, to the moment of the point of the realizations that you will have continually through your system. Override all system programs. Override in every single cell in your physical and non-physical body. If you have experienced great pain and trauma in your heart, persecution, suffering, let it go. Your soul can do this with you. Nothing is too much, because your soul knows internally that you have had a heavy duty experience. Your gut will tell you everything. Sometimes we override the gut instinct, the first brain. But in this particular instant, when you open your awareness internally without fear to face yourself and the dualistic programs of the matrix ever occur to you, you start looking at yourself in a different way. And when you get to a certain age, the realization comes, well, how will I choose to live with my free will in the future? separate of any restriction, any coercion or distress in my reality. And this acceptance of your greater intelligence will spin your mind into a pattern of child. I can't cope with that, it's too much. I invite you to focus on bringing the mind into the heart. Welcome it. For your heart is infinite and carries infinite intelligence. Your mind has learned the patterns and conditioning of this apparent reality. If your soul does not agree, then that's okay. It's all okay. It's whatever you choose to focus on in your universe. And then you begin to learn to cycle the energy in a much more productive way, efficient way of using your internal energy dynamics with great determination, bravery, courage. Because it takes great courage to be here in this mire of attempted system interactions with you. A long time ago, they tried to experiment with the light of the Creator because they thought they were better. Who's they? Many different groups that originated from a non-human softly. And I'm referring to the humaneness of soul. So they began to experiment with this, causing damage to the DNA systems, to the functionality of the body. We inherited those patterns at soul level. We bring them down into each incarnation, each with a different lesson that we must bring back. But really, many procedures went wrong in this great experiment. The damaging emotions that the soul has experienced creates illness. It was not meant to be earth-shaped in this way. It just went out. So it all had to be separated into this density in order to work out and resolve what had happened, where we went wrong, individually and collectively over time and space. Where did we go? And that is a really great question. I'm thinking about that in my own experience. Where did I go wrong? Think about that. And I keep checking. And it's been a process of rectifying these things. Where I made the wrong decision, the wrong choice that has had consequences on the way I live today. How do I want to live in the future? It's all the choice. You choose to infuse your existence with system thinking and action, and eventually serving them with your energy? Or do you choose to infuse your own soul energy into your physical body and take control of your ship? your reality, what you experience at a core level, seen and unseen. What are you going to remove from your life that will improve the quality of life for your soul? In this moment, if you could choose to let it all go now, would you? Let go of all the impacts in one moment. Only you can observe them. You know what they are. If you do need a hand, I can guide you through the process. And it's available to all races on earth that want to heal themselves and resolve the issues of all previous constructs of time or past lives. And you become free, free within, and then it begins to reflect in your reality. You achieve inner peace, wisdom, divine grace, love of the universe. You find your peace as you refuse to accept the reality rules of others. When you become dependent, in practical terms, on this reality through the financial system, only you can figure it out. What do you need to do to make the journey of your life sacred, fulfilling, with all of your needs met? When your universe within is in balance, and that means all parts of your personality, body, experience, and it's all correct and in harmony with the elements of earth, in balance. We keep saying it, in balance, with no regret. We begin to live in the fifth time of peace, the fifth sun, the fifth world of peace, in peace. There's no karmic competition, just no need for it. It's done, resolved. So we open the doors. You open Cordia Consularis. We're going to be running an online healing, a sacred healing for all souls who feel the pain of ages, the pain of existence, and are physically, emotionally, mentally suffering as a result of system input into their light system. My pleasure to share that with you. If you see this, great. What you're doing now, because I must say this, what you're doing now is preparing for the next reality. And this is not often said in light work world. We're resolving, some of us are having the final experience here, final incarnation. That might resonate with many who are of a particular demographic. So when we prepare for the future now, we know where we are going. We know how to disentangle ourselves from repeating or being trapped into any scenario, seen or unseen, that does not support your soul and its movement. Because some never made it. And we know who everybody is. It has been a very long, tiresome journey for many years. Continually hampered and put upon every day. But we can create it all. We don't want to create their system or support it. And this is the great divide that's coming, that is upon us and has been building these last few years. And it is an opportunity again from the Great Spirit for us to decide how we want to live. What is sacred? What is unsacred? What doesn't sit right? And you can even apply that beyond any religious program. The religions taught you to learn your own truth. The goodness of what is possible to be. And every being in this universe knows the difference between right and wrong, and imbalance, polarity, duality, flow of the internal universe is your soul, internal, eternal. And those moments of inner realization, who you are, what you're capable of. Inspiration is reflected through your body, but it is limitation from the system programming that hinders you. I mean, this comes in many different ways, usually from old archaic systems of belief. Defy all beliefs. You could take it on, cleanse it, deconstruct it, diminish it. Let it go. Adios. Always strong. This has always been yours. Let us illuminate the darkness within. Illuminates everything. And when everything illuminates, it expands. Grows. When humans illuminate, Earth illuminates. When Earth expands and illuminates, we illuminate. And this is the beautiful symbiosis, the soul. So, if you have any questions, do get in touch at Harmony Imperfect Counsel. And book a session for an online training. I'll be releasing a healing, like I just mentioned, very soon. Just need to choose the time. And I will notify here and on my Facebook page at Harmony Imperfect Counsel. This is your soul, this is your reality. You are the strongest of the strong. now is time for you to realize, people say, well, what can I do? What can I do? Just don't know it. What can I do? It feels so overwhelming. Go within. Go within and find your answers there, because you will never find them externally. And once you keep searching and finding those answers, they're going to start reflecting in your external reality. If you are in pain, go beyond the pain of your own resistance, of your own trauma within. Go beyond it, in the physical, not out of the body, floating around up there. Nothing will be realized here in physical form. Bring that energy into physical form. Go beyond your fear. Go beyond your pain and change your reality. You are a time-traveling vehicle of light and a vast source creator. Out-create the old and harmonize with peace internally at the core of your function. So we will be back next week with Concordia, Contilaris, myself, Angela Miller, and Harrison will be joining us for another spiritual court of equity. We will be live. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a great break. And I'll see you again soon. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, because I am restricted and censored on these technical plays. So you know you're having the best impact. Anyway, oh, pardon me. We don't let that stop us, because we're infinite. We don't. Thanks for being here, everyone. Every one of you live really great lives from your heart, following your heart's desires in peace. I wish that every single day. Only a fool made the same mistake twice or 3 times. Hey, my dear people, dear souls, just going to love you